This man from New Orleans, he loans money to people, businesses. The ones who couldn't pay him back were known to disappear.
So your friend, she owed him money.
When she couldn't pay him back, he threatened her. So I did the only thing I could think of.
Which was?
I appealed to his vice. 5-card stud. I win, her debt's clear. He wins, I pay him double. Quickly realized he was stacking the deck.
So you cheated too?
The one and only time in my life.
Welcome back to the Teacup Trail. We are finishing episode 8 of season 6 of When Calls the Heart. That scene of Nathan and Lucas going back to Hope Valley, one of the important scenes of this episode. If you remember an earlier episode in this season, Nathan went to the saloon to confront Lucas about Allie and the heart trick. And Lucas mentioned about cheating once in his lifetime. And now we know when Lucas did cheat. It was truly a good intention in that situation. And now Nathan understands more of why Lucas did that and how he cheated only once in his lifetime. So that's like a big light humming upon Nathan. Like, if I was Nathan, I would be like, wow, okay, Lucas is probably really an honest man. He not as bad as I thought he was. This is the most open and honest Lucas we ever seen so far this season. So it's explained a lot about Lucas' past and how Lucas got into this trouble and why this trouble is reaching Hope Valley.
Elizabeth?
Lucas.
Lucas? Hi. I told you I'd find you.
When Lucas entered the saloon and looked onto the floor and he saw the papers and the empty basket on the floor, I wonder if he automatically thought of Elizabeth, because Elizabeth's character has this signature fashion, which is her basket. Everywhere she goes, most of the time, everywhere she goes, she carries this small basket in her hand. So I wonder if Lucas automatically thought of Elizabeth, and he looked up and saw Elizabeth in the middle of the saloon, and the gun came out, and Lucas automatically like, oh shoot, there's someone in here that should not be in here. He tried to pull his gun out, and unfortunately Lucas got in the middle of this sticky situation with Elizabeth.
Just let her go. Tell every penny, the 10 grand that's owed to me, is in the palm of this hand. She's not going anywhere.
So if you watched this episode before, you get to see Elizabeth get to learn more about why this bad guy is in town and his relation to Lucas, and Lucas' past unfolding in front of her. And Elizabeth, like, $10,000, that's a lot of money. And she probably thinking like, okay, Lucas, like, what do you do, you know? And she probably thinking, you know, Lucas, just give him the money so I can go.
Where's your safe?
As we continue to watch these clips of this long saloon scene, you really want to pay attention to the facial expression between Lucas and Elizabeth. Elizabeth is scared as hell. She has an infant son at home, and she thinking to herself like, I cannot die today. Like, Jack already died. I don't want to die. I don't want to leave my son in like this, like especially at this young age that little Jack is at right now. So Elizabeth is trying to escape, and Lucas automatically goes into a protective mode, trying to protect Elizabeth and trying to let her go somehow, some way.
Hurry up.
If you let her go, you can have everything I've got.
Oh, it's very generous. As soon as I get that, she'll be on her way. Slowly. On the bar. Now slide it down.
Lucas pulling the gun out of the safe box is probably not the smartest idea in that moment. Elizabeth probably understands what Lucas is trying to do. He trying to convince the bad guys to let Elizabeth go and just let the situation be handled between Lucas and them and have Elizabeth out of it. Elizabeth feeling very intense in this scene. I mean, her life is on the line, and Lucas is aware of that. His life is on the line as well. And it's a very sticky situation to be in. And Elizabeth doesn't really know Lucas that much yet. So she doesn't have anyone to go to or trust except for Lucas. And she's counting on him to do what he needs to do to keep Elizabeth and Lucas himself safe.
Why is the saloon still closed?
You caught me in the middle of a nap. Is there anything else I can help you with?
That's like the first teamwork of Lucas and Nathan working together. I really like that scene because Lucas very sneaky but in a good way. He was very creative and smart in trying to tell Nathan indirectly what's going on. And Nathan looking at that paper on the floor in the basket, again, he probably thought the same as Lucas, like, wait, is that the basket of Elizabeth? And it also gives him a signal, like, something bad is going on, and Nathan probably think, oh, the bad guys is in Hope Valley, so Nathan will get into the Mountie mode right at this moment.
I am so sorry that you got tangled up in this.
It's a little late for that now, isn't it?
I promise.
No talking. Empty the safe. You stay here with me. We're gonna go for a ride.
You said that you'd let her go.
Well, that was before the Mountie came sniffing around, wasn't it? I think I'll hang on to her for a while.
I'm not going anywhere with you. Oh.
We'll see about that. Money, please.
It's the right thing to do to try to apologize, even though it's the worst timing and it's the worst situation to say it in. Lucas, again, trying to be a gentleman and trying to tell Elizabeth that he is very sorry that he got her in this situation. At the same time, Elizabeth wished that she knew more about the situation. She probably expected Lucas to tell her a little bit, especially in the earlier scene when she saw a gun in his pocket before he rode off. So Elizabeth is trying not to get mad at him. At the same time, she more focused on getting out there safely and back to her son at home. And Lucas still in that protective mode for her. When the bad guy touched Elizabeth a couple of times in that clip, Lucas just looked at Elizabeth, making sure that she's still okay and still alive.
Back door. Come on, back door.
What are you gonna do with us?
My father always said, don't ask questions if you don't want to know the answer. Come on.
Drop the weapon!
Nathan and Lucas came to the rescue for Elizabeth. I will be fair and give bonus points to both guys. Nathan stepped his foot on top of the gun, and Lucas pushed the bad guy away from Elizabeth, and to have that chance for Elizabeth to escape, to get far away as possible from the gun. Elizabeth was very smart. She saw Nathan have his shot and tried to distract the bad guy from looking up the stairs where Nathan was. And Lucas somehow had to buy their mind sync. Lucas automatically looked up the stairs and saw Nathan, and he's like, oh, okay, Elizabeth saw Nathan on the stairs, and boom, action happened, and Elizabeth is okay. That's a relief. But you really have to think what's going to happen next. I mean, this is going to create a setback in the friendship between Elizabeth and Lucas. Elizabeth almost died, and she will think twice about talking to Lucas again, and she probably think should I forgive him? Should I even continue to talk to him? I mean, the library will have the grand opening soon. Am I safe? That's the question. Am I safe to be with Lucas as a friend? So Elizabeth will need to go through that fears and anxiety after what happened, and she will start questioning if Lucas is really a good guy to be friends with.
Here.
No, thank you.
I feel so bad for Lucas. He has everyone staring at him outside the saloon after that mess. He's probably thinking, what have I done? How did this happen? He probably didn't expect his past to come to him in Hope Valley. He'd been settling down nicely in Hope Valley, and all of a sudden an interruption occurred from his past. And unfortunately, this situation got Elizabeth involved, and Elizabeth is a woman that Lucas started to take interest in, and unfortunately they got in this situation together. The past meets the future. I don't blame Elizabeth. She probably going through her mind, thinking about her son and just thinking about what just happened, and if she willing to trust Lucas going forward. Is she safe around him, are you a trustworthy friend? Elizabeth will go through a lot of emotion after what happened, and I don't blame her. She needs space. Lucas needs space too. Space to calm down and just figure out, if these two people are going to move on and continue to be friends, or if they would stop talking to each other. Elizabeth was in a life-death situation, so I don't blame her if she wants to stay away from Lucas for a while. So we will see how this situation affects Lucas and Elizabeth's friendship for the rest of this season and in season 7 and 8. It was definitely an eye-opening experience for Elizabeth. She got to know more about Lucas' past.
I didn't know who to trust. Is there anything else that I should know about you? No. I just hope that we can put this behind us.
the handshake between Lucas and Nathan, I see that as an official confirmation that these two men will try their best to be friendly with each other going forward, and that they put the past behind them, and that hopefully there is no negative feelings toward one another. I think Lucas really wants to be friends with Nathan. Like, he wants to be on good terms with Nathan, especially Nathan being the Mountie. But right now, Nathan and Lucas seem to be chill with each other, and we'll see if that changes as we go on. Lucas confirmed that he did not trust anyone about this situation, and I cannot blame him entirely. He doesn't really know anyone in Hope Valley. Like, he doesn't know Elizabeth enough. Like, no one knows about what he went through, and he expects no one to understand what he went through in his past. So I don't blame him for not trusting anyone in Hope Valley. But from this experience that he went through in this episode, I do believe that Lucas learned the importance of community, and that Hope Valley is truly a close-knit community and people that are willing to help you and support you. So that's it for episode 8 of season 6. Really excited to talk about Lucas and Elizabeth in the next episode, because Elizabeth is in a mess. I mean, especially emotionally and mentally. Elizabeth has a lot of thinking to go through in regard to Lucas and the situation that he put her in. Hope you have a great week. I will see you on Sunday. Bye.